Hello, I'm John Hnatio. I am a scientist who is honored to be part of a research and development team comprised of some of the world's best experts, computer scientists, and engineers. For the last 2 years, our focus has been on the battle against misinformation and the unethical uses of artificial intelligence. One significant area of concern is the promulgation of false and partially false data by the written press and social and broadcast media. Our goal was to build a fully automated, no human-in-the-loop system capable of very quickly and easily separating fact from fiction in written and spoken human communications. Along the journey, we identified several challenges that we had to overcome to turn the vision into a reality. Today, our society is heavily dependent on information technology. It now pervades almost every aspect of our personal and professional lives, from the cell phones we use to communicate with each other, to the search engines and chat boxes that serve as our pathway to access the vast sea of data that comprises the internet. The sea of data out there on the internet consists of true, false, and partially false data, with no way to quickly and easily check and then prove whether something is true, false, or just a half-truth. In practical terms, this means that much of the data on the internet we use to seed the search engines and the chat boxes we rely on every day for awareness of the world around us has already been contaminated by false and partially false data. A big part of this problem is the fact that computer systems are not intrinsically designed to prioritize provable empirical data over other types of data. In other words, they are not designed to seek out ground truth, along with the evidence to prove what they are telling us. The use of probabilities in deep language models blur the difference between provable ground truth and the subjective world of human wants, beliefs, opinions, and emotions. To add insult to injury, we haven't had any way to deal with improper logic structures like faulty syllogistic reasoning or the use of logical fallacies, which all of us already know are the most predominant ways of introducing bias or spin into a story. In turn, what all of this means is that the learning machines and neural networks we use to process data are being seeded with false and partially false data to produce yet more and more false or partially false data, but at exponential rates. Thus, the real danger of artificial intelligence. If the data we rely on to frame human awareness becomes tainted enough, it holds the very real potential to break the divide between orderly systems interactions and outright chaos. In the world of journalism, with its large volumes of data throughput and incredibly fast-paced news cycles, the inability to efficiently fact-check every story published represents the major challenge facing news organizations in their battle against misinformation and with the rise of artificial intelligence. And the risk of making costly mistakes is rising every day with a growing volume of contaminated data on the internet. So that gives you just a short list of just some of the issues, concerns, and challenges our research team faced as we developed a new technology solution called Legit. Now, we could never have created Legit without the encouragement, help, and the real-world inputs from many of the journalists and fact-checkers out there, some of whom may be watching this tape. To all of you, we want to extend our sincere thanks for your contributions in turning what was only a vision just a few short months ago into the reality it is today. Over the past few weeks, we have tried out Legit on a couple of recent newsworthy events to show you how it might be applied to the profession of journalism. We did an analysis of the June presidential debate and another on the recent attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump.
46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. The 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. This is the CNN presidential debate.
Back to Biden.
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there are more small black businesses that have been started than any time in history.
Authentication found that this assertion was very likely. Under President Joe Biden's presidency, there has been a significant increase in the number of small black-owned businesses. According to various sources, including the U.S. Census Bureau and the Federal Reserve Board, the prevalence of black-owned small businesses has reached record levels during his tenure. Back to Trump.
The tax cut spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now,
Authentication found that this assertion was very likely. Under President Trump, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 had significant impacts on the U.S. economy. The tax cuts, championed by Trump and congressional Republicans, led to a boom in economic growth, which in turn spurred job creation and investments.
You know, a few days ago, on July 22nd, a hearing was held on Capitol Hill involving the United States Secret Service and the assassination attempt on former President Trump. Let's start by typing in. The Secret Service is supposed to do an advanced survey of public places where their principles appear. Legit instantly tells us that this statement is in fact a genuine issue of fact and lists some of the things that the Secret Service is expected to do, like assess potential risks and vulnerabilities at the location, including identifying possible sightlines for potential shooters, securing rooftops and other elevated areas, and implementing countermeasures to mitigate threats. This process, of course, involves meticulous planning, coordination with local law enforcement, and the deployment of specialized resources such as counter-sniper teams and explosive ordnance disposal units. Next, let's ask Legit. Evidence exists that the Secret Service adequately assessed possible shooter sightlines before the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. The evidence suggests that the Secret Service did not, I repeat, did not adequately assess possible shooter sightlines before the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. We have also brought together a group of expert fact-checkers to help us build an application of Legit designed specifically for the use of fact-checkers. Our goal was to develop an automated assistant for fact-checkers that uses a standard process that can radically reduce the time necessary to fact-check news stories, magazine articles, blog content, and generative artificial intelligence products and other publications, while providing an archival e-record that can be used as part of a risk management strategy by all news and media organizations. Finally, we have begun to bridge the gap between Legit's ability to validate the written word and the world of the spoken word in broadcast media by providing very near real-time analyses of spoken speeches, news conferences, congressional and government hearings, and other public speaking forums. Before we leave you today, we want to sincerely thank you for taking the time to listen to our story, and we want to invite you to join us in a collaborative effort to continue the battle against misinformation. To do this, we need your input on the future direction of our research efforts and the best ways to most effectively deploy the new technology across media organizations. Please reach out to us. We look forward to starting a dialogue with you. Thank you for watching.